How's it going? Welcome back, Wolf Pack, for another edition of OpenPair. And this is the Go series where I'll be diving into the depths of GoLang. And not just that, but being vulnerable with you because I'm not a master of any of this. I'm learning just like you. And a huge part of why I started this series is because I really want to share that journey with you to show you that no matter what your experience level is, whether you're a beginner, a professional, or beyond, we all have room to grow. And this YouTube channel, and especially this series, is dedicated to showing you just that. Okay, so here's some quick housekeeping stuff, okay? Just a quick little thing. So let me push the record button so I can record this for later on. So hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And before you do anything else, I want you to do just one little tiny teensy weensy tiny little favor for me, okay? So if you go down to the description of this video, you're going to see a link to my survey. Okay, this survey is what I'm going to use to help better steer the content so that I can suit your needs, what you want, and most importantly, what will be helpful for you all. Okay, a huge part of my mission and why I made this channel and why I do what I do as a professional is because I have a very deep desire to help. And in order to do that the best way, I've put together this survey, which has just a couple of questions that can help me gauge exactly who you are and what your needs are and what you're drawn to. Okay. So go down to the description below, do my survey. I promise it'll only take 30 seconds and it'll do a lot of good, not just for me, but hopefully for you as well. Okay. I want to make the best content possible. And in advance, I want to say thank you for your support, for your viewership, and for your presence. Okay. How was that? Was that good? I was recording while I was doing that so that I could take that clip and use it for other stuff later on. I'll probably just re-upload that as a standalone video. Okay, so that's my one housekeeping thing. Today, we're going to be doing something different than my normal streams, and we're going to be doing Boot.Dev. Excuse me, I'm a little bit snotty or something. Okay, so Boot.Dev is a website that is basically an interactive learning platform. Okay, so on Boot.Dev, you have the ability to do all these different learning goals. These are in the form of learning courses, basically. And you can see here that there's tons of things you can do in each of these. I'm doing the GoLang one. I've also started the one for learning shell and terminals. Okay. Now, let me just tell you this. I'm a professional. I've been a software engineer since 2018. So, I'm not like the longest lived professional in the world. However, what I will tell you is that no matter how long you've been coding, programming, engineering, making things, there's always room to grow. And platforms like this make it so easy and so fun. Okay, this is not a sponsored video. Nobody is paying me to say this, but maybe they should. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that up to them. But I want to share this with you because this is honestly one of the most fun platforms that I've ever used to learn. And I've used a lot of different things to learn. I'm not going to say all the names of the different places, but it's probably the same places that you all go to when you Google for different tutorials or certifications or learning programs. I've used a ton of them and I've spent a ton of money. And one of the things that makes it really challenging to invest in these like online platforms is that you're going to be battling like this sense of being alone in your journey. Okay. Now, to be completely honest, I don't think that this platform solves that issue. However, they have succeeded in making something that is so fun to me personally that that part doesn't even register as an issue. Okay. I know that coding can only be so fun. Let's face it, this isn't like playing Elden Ring or Pokemon Go. It's not that. However, for a platform that teaches you how to code, they've done some really remarkable and innovative things here, okay? So I'm not going to spend all my time going into like the depths of what this website does. I want to just jump in and do my thing because I ain't got that much time. Okay, I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work in the morning. However, what I will tell you is that when you join this website, basically the gist of this is that you're a character and you're going through a series of character levels and character progression. Ooh. When you, sorry, I'm drinking my fizzy bubbly again. So when you go through these levels, what happens is you get experience points every time you answer a question correctly. So you make your way through a learning course, answer a bunch of questions correctly, and you get levels. And not only that, but you also get these things called gems. Um, it says here, okay, so let me just make this one thing clear. This is not a microtransaction thing. Because if it was, I probably wouldn't be using this app. I don't like microtransactions for things that I'm already paying for. That just boils my blood. So when you see this, it says buy 8 gems. Then what this is saying is that as you play through this game, you're going to be earning these gems that you can use to buy these different items, right? So a potion gives you more XP, armor protects you if you so you can do these things like sprees, like answering a sequence of questions correctly. And if you miss one, having armor will protect you from losing your spree. Baked salmon, you can use this to get extra help from the there's like an AI bot built into this basically. And if you use it, however, you lose XP or you get a XP penalty. So like for the question you might get help on, you don't get as much or any XP. But this will save you from that penalty. I should turn Speechify off. Okay. So yeah, so you don't get that penalty if you have baked salmon. The Seer Stone, um, this allows you to view the solution. I have not used this at all, but maybe there's a point where I'll want to use it. It seems to be really, really rare. Same as the Frozen Flame. The Frozen Flame will protect you if you are, for whatever reason, not on the game. Um, if you have like a streak and you don't want to lose your streak and all the benefits that come with that, this will basically save you. So there's a shop and you earn these crystals, and you do not have to buy the crystals with real cash. As far as I know, there is no cash shop, so to speak of, and I hope, dear God, that they don't add one. Okay. So other than that, you get different awards for different achievements. You can see here that I have several. I haven't really used this. Okay, I used this site a little bit, maybe like a week or two ago, but I took a really long break. So I'm getting back into this after taking a pretty significant break. Okay. And this is my profile. If you want to find me, my username is Keystone underscore only one. And I'll do you one better. If you go down to the description down below, you'll see that I have a link to Boot.Dev. And once again, this is not sponsored. However, if you use that little referral code that I put down there, you'll be helping me out just a little bit, just a teensy bit. I don't even know what the rewards are, but I put it there. So please use it if you want to sign up for this. And it's well worth your money, okay? So that being said, I'm going to go back to my course and we're going to go ahead and get started here. And here's one thing that I will do, and I don't think you're supposed to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Uh, I'm not going to use their chatbot. Sue me. I'm going to use Claude AI, but I'm going to be very judicious in how I use it, okay? And y'all going to be watching me, so I'm sure y'all going to say something. Or I'm afraid of y'all saying something, so I ain't gonna be out here looking crazy. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell it, you're a tutor for me in learning GoLang. You'll guide me to answers without telling me the answer. Okay. Except when absolutely necessary. Okay. So the thing here is like I do a lot of coding that is facilitated by AI. And what I'm trying to do in using this platform is I'm trying to engage my active recall. And that's the thing. It's like if you don't engage your active recall, then you're going to be putting yourself in a really bad position where you might conceptually know things, but you don't know how to actually do them. So that's kind of the thing I'm trying to prevent here. So I'm only going to use this if it's really, really necessary. Otherwise, I'm going to stick to what I know. And if you do these in sequence, then you shouldn't be too lost. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. Woo! I feel like I was just like yelling. The volume. Okay. Maps are similar to JavaScript objects, Python dictionaries, and Ruby hashes. Maps are data structures that provide key value mappings. By the way, I'll only be here for an hour and a half, so I'm getting off of this thing at 10:30. Okay, the zero value of a map is nil. So every data structure has a zero value. For integers, it's one. For booleans, it's false or zero, and for map, it is nil. So we can create a map by using a literal or by using the make function. Okay. I wonder what the difference is. I'm going to ask. I don't think that matters too much here, but what's the difference between making a map using a literal versus make? Ooh, this light down here is so bright. Can I turn this down? It's like all in my eyeballs. Will it mess up my green screen? It's good. You good. Good. Okay, so let's close Speechify. We don't need that right now. Let me guide you through exploring this difference. Try writing out both ways of creating a map using a literal syntax and okay, you know what? You're being too literal to my instructions. If I'm asking about the definition of things for something that can be found in the documentation, it's okay to just tell me plans. I'm known for being very polite to the AI. Okay, you're right. My apologies. Let me be direct about this documentation level question. The main difference between map literals and make is for maps is map literals. Okay, that is a terrible bullet point list. What is this? That's not even hard to do. Okay, so map literal creates and initializes the map in one step. Allows you to specify initial key value pairs. Okay, I know that part. Whereas the make just creates an empty map. Okay, so that makes sense. Optionally accepts a capacity hint as a second argument because it has to know how much memory to reserve, I guess. But it is able to change size. Okay, so that's the basic difference. If you use a literal, you can give it some initial values. If you use make, then it will make one that is the nil zero value. Okay, cool. So ages, the map, and so we can do assignments by providing the key and using the assignment operator. And if we do duplicate keys, I don't know why I be burping so much when I stream. It's like I don't ever have burps ever. And it's so gross, and I apologize. Okay, so if we do duplicate keys, it'll override. That's expected. Um, and you could do multiple entries here for. Oh wait. Ages. Oh, so you can assign multiple keys values like this. That's cool. So Golang has a playground on the website. Let's actually use that. It doesn't have any sort of code completion though, so it's gonna be awkward because I live for a good code completion. Um, where is it? Go playground. Here we go. Let's make a map here really quick. Let's actually take their example and put that in here. I just want to see some. I'm just trying to see a little song. Okay, ages. Um, Oops. What did not have? I guess formatting probably doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to print F. I'm going to say ages map. And I don't know if this will work, but can you print a map directly? Ages. Okay, so yeah, so you can do assignment for multiple keys together. That's really cool. I don't know if there's a way to do that, like straight out the gate in JavaScript. Let me ask. I kind of like bouncing ideas off of multiple programming languages. Let's see. Um, no, you didn't even get my syntax right. You did assign. You did a initialization. I just want assignment. Asking if you can assign two key value pairs and an object at once using JavaScript. That's what the code I gave you does. The most of these models I notice are really good at answering questions and doing things with JavaScript or Python. And any language that is not those two seems to not do so well. Also, HTML and CSS is good at that too. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, so you use object.assign. Okay. Or you can use a spread operator and spread the object into itself again. Oh, that's nice. Well, I knew that. I don't know why I act like I didn't know that. Yeah, I know that. I know that. It almost makes the GoLang approach seem a little bit tacky, if you know what I mean. The spread operator one is really, really nice. Really, truly. Um, the equivalent of doing this would be the append, and you could append something into itself. So, anyways, the length function works on a map. It returns the total number of key value pairs. Okay. So, I should say when you're using Boot.Dev, it is having you build something like there's a bigger project, and each of the lessons are kind of guiding you to build the thing. So, for this one, we're making like a Twilio clone, and each of the little lessons in here is correlating to some part of that functionality. And can we speed up our contact information lookups by using a map? Key value based map lookup um, is O1. So this right here is big O notation. Slice, brute force, search. Okay. Now, big O notation is not my strength. I know what it means. I know a little bit about what influences it, but I start seeing algebraic numbers and stuff, like my eyes glaze over. Okay, so complete the get user map function. It takes a slice of names and a slice of phone numbers. So that's the incoming arguments we got there. It returns a map of names to users, struct in an error. Okay, so what this is saying is that we're going to get a slice of names, and so two separate slices basically. One that has a bunch of names and one that has a bunch of numbers, and we're going to be going through each of these data structures, and we're going to find the pairings and put the pairings um, in one of the in one of the as entries into this map basically. And yeah, so the indexes will match between these two things. So if the length of the two is not the same, then return an invalid size. So let's do that. Let's do our error condition first. So we'll just say error condition sizes do not match. Then the next thing we need to do is we need to take the use size of, let's just use names and create a loop over the range. And then we need to make a map, make empty map. Make an empty map. And then use the names and create a loop over the range. And then we need to use the indexes. Use the index for each iteration of the loop and add a new entry into the map. Okay. Okay. Okay, so a user struct just contains the user's name and phone number, the first name, and the names. Okay. I always like to run it without doing anything. Okay. Also, you gotta have a return in here. Let's go ahead and just return map string insert and no. I like to just run the test to see the error. Okay, the error is the cheat code. The error is the way. The error is the guidance. Your errors are not a problem. In fact, your error messages oftentimes are your greatest tool. Because you can see here, one of the things I had in my mind was, okay, if this is a map, all the entries in the map need to have a key. And this here was kind of confusing me because I didn't have a clear idea of what the key should be. So what I did is I forced this test to fail by returning an empty map that matches the type of the return and also nil for the error. Uh, yeah, so basically I'm just making it easy for myself to see what this test is expecting. Okay, so yeah, so use the index for each iteration of the loop and add a new entry into the map. And then we'll just say here, name should be the key. And the fields or properties rather should be no, these are fields actually, and fields should be no. The name should be the key, and the I think this is telling me this is a slice. Oh, no. This is just the user struct. Okay, so we have to initialize a new user struct. So create new user struct. And then we want to assign name and phone number. We assign the name and the phone number, and then we want to make the insertion or the entry into the map. And I think we can just use append to do that part. Or we can use the assignment operator. So use assignment to add the new entry into the map. Okay, so I wrote all my comments out. I think that this satisfies. Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's do our error condition first. So if the length of string, names is not equal to the length of phone numbers, then we need to return, what does it say we have to return? Return an error. So we have to return a nil value because that's the zero value of a map. And then we need to return an error with the string. So we need to return an error. What is it? Errors? Claude, help me. Help me out now. What is the package for errors in GoLang? This is not cheating, okay? I could Google this. Okay, it's just errors. I don't. Okay, just don't laugh at me. It's fine. Sometimes we have brain farts. Okay, so import errors, and then we're going to return nil because that's the first return that we need to do, and then we need to return errors dot new. Is it a capital N? Capital N. Methods have capital letters. Otherwise, they can't be exported in GoLang. So we'll just say here, what's the string is expected? Invalid. Invalid. We just go ahead and copy and paste. If you are dealing with something that is testing a string, copy and paste that string. Okay, copy and paste that thing. Paste that string, that thing. Okay, don't just type it out because Lord knows programmers are not typists. Okay, so we should have one test somewhere here that passes. So this one passed, so that's cool. So we're good. We're Gucci. We're fine. We're Prada. All things that I cannot afford. Okay, let's go. So make an empty map. Oh, it's just telling us how to do it over here, so we ain't got to work that hard. Um, let's call this map. What is it called? No, it doesn't have a specific name, so let's just call it user map. And we'll do make. And we're going to use make because this is an empty map. Otherwise, we could use a literal. And this map is going to be a string for the key, and then int for the, oh no, not int. What do we need? Let's look at our, oh, you know what we could do? We could put user here. So the key is going to be a string, and then it's going to be associated with the value that's user. Okay. Cool beans. Okay, so let's make a loop here. I think I can do for I. Yeah, we need the index. So let's go put I v range 10. Can I do that? Or no, we need to do range of the length of names. Let's just use names. And before we get too far into this, I always recommend do console logs or prints or whatever you have. Don't just jump into writing a bunch of stuff if you don't know if it works. So we're going to just take our import and expand this because we want to add a new import in here. And we're going to bring in fmt. That way we can do some prints to our console down here. And we're going to do a print inside of here. So fmt.print. We're going to do a formatted print. So we're going to say current index. Also, we're going to, we don't need to do length. We can just do names. So we'll say current index current value. Let's make this a little bit nicer. Let's say current index value. And then we'll just put the index or I here and V. So what I'm trying to do here is just make sure that this is going through all the things. It is working correctly before I get too far. So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, we gotta comment this out. GoLang is picky about things not being used. And somewhere up here, I should be able to see, okay, so current value, and this should match something in here. 0, Aaron, 1, Armin, and then we go on to the next one, 2, Mikasa. Oh, so this one down here. Okay, so that looks correct. I've coded a loop, a for loop that gets to all the things. Okay, so now what I can do is I can initialize a new struct inside of this iteration of the for loop. So and inside of the struct, I can also go ahead and add the things. So let's just say new user. Oh, we can bring this back too. So we say new user. Actually, let's leave that on comment. New user equals, and then we can say user struct here, and then we can use that, and we'll just say name, and we'll do v dot, or we'll just do v, and then we'll do phone number without the s, and then we'll do, so to get the phone number, we have to use the same index, but we have to use it on the phone number slice. So we can do phone numbers, and then we can put the index in there like that. So this is a new user struct with those two correct values, I think. But the only way to know is to just run a test it out with using the print tool here. So I'll just make a new entry or a new line here. And I don't need this first one. I won't delete it though. And I'll just say current user struct. And then we'll just put that in here like that and like that. Let's see if that works. Oh, I need a comma? A comma for your mama? Unexpected new line, composite literal, possibly be missing. What line? 20. Oh my goodness. Okay. Remind me how to create a struct with values. I should know this. Yeah, that's what I did. Ain't that what I did? Ain't that what I had did? Oh gosh. Okay, unexpected new line and composite literal. Possibly missing a comma. Do I need a comma at the end too? Ew. Ew. Yeah. Sorry. I got a little choked up there. Oh my God. Okay, if it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, I might not. But secondly, I program in like 4 different languages and I be getting mixed up, okay? Don't judge me. And if you do, judge me fairly. Okay. Okay, so format is missing a verb at the end of the string. Oh, I need a V here. Okay, cool. So now we can see, oh, okay. Okay, that's good. That's what we need. So this right here is looking a little something like this right here. So that means we're on the right path. Now, all we have to do is just make the assignment. So then I can just go here and say, I can undo this and I'll say user map, and then I'll just put the key, or I'll put the key, which is going to be the name in here. And then we'll just make this equal to new user. And then I'm gonna take my comments and just distribute them where they go. Boom, boom. This is how I teach my students to code. And so it's not because I just want them to like be slow at everything. It's because it's literally the way that I code, because it helps me stay organized. I write the comments, then I code towards them. Write your comments, code towards them. Write your comments, code towards them. Write your comments and code towards them. When I see a beginner and I look at their code and there's no comments, it's like looking at Elvish speak or something. I feel like I'm in the Lord of the Rings or something. Because I don't read code like English. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I did. The comments help me and it helps you. Okay, so use the index for each iteration of the loop. For the phone number, if you do this too, your ability to read code is going to improve really fast. By the way, for phone numbers, and then use each index of loop. And we'll just say up here we used each value of loop for the name to insert, and then we'll say we already created a new struct. Oh no, this is a new struct, so we don't need that. Bloop, bloop, get rid of that. And we'll just take this comment and put that right here where it belongs. Bloop, blow, bling, blang, blong. We did it. Okay, so who wants to make a bet? I don't, so let's not do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. And oh no, declared and not used user map on line 15. Oh, we need to return right here. So if everything is fine, we need to return user map, and we'll also return nil because that is the zero value of an error. Undefined user map, I need a right here. This needs to be capital M. And we are good. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and submit this and get some experience points. Yes. Ooh, that felt so good. Okay, so we can move on to the next lesson. Okay, so mutations. Insert an element. We just did that. Get an element. Okay, cool. I know that part. Delete an element. So there's a delete function that we give. The first argument is the map, and the second argument is the key we want to delete. Cool. And check if an element exists. This is actually a really convenient pattern. So the first thing we get if we try to destructure. If we destructure, I don't know if that's the right term for this, but in JavaScript, this would be like destructuring. If we do this on the left side of a key from a map, then the first item is going to be the actual value, and the second thing is going to be a Boolean of whether or not it was found. So you could use this in a for loop if you wanted to, or you could use this to help with writing tests and error conditions. So if key is an M, then OK is true. And element is the value as expected. If key is not in the map, then OK is false. And element is the zero value for the map's element type. So every data structure has a zero value, and it's going to give you that for whatever that would be. Okay, it's important to keep up with privacy regulations and to respect our users' data. We need a function that will delete user records. Complete the delete if necessary function. Check the scheduled for deletion Boolean to determine if they are scheduled for deletion or not. Okay, so we're going to get that with each user from this map of users. Each user in the map of user is going to have a Boolean value that tells us if we need to delete this user. If the user doesn't exist on the map, return the error not found. If they exist but aren't scheduled for deletion, return deleted as false. So we have a return tuple. I think it's called a tuple. Tuple something. So if that if the person is not to be deleted, then this is gonna be false and no error, of course. If they exist and are scheduled for deletion, return deleted as true with no errors and delete their record from the map. Okay, cool. So this is the person we have to search. This is the map with everything up in it. And this is interesting because uh, I think in a realistic scenario, we'd be dealing with a pointer here because we probably want this map to be um, stored in memory somewhere, and we'd probably want to be able to manipulate it beyond just the scope of this. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, it's neither here nor there. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's try this. So once again, I'm gonna start off with my comments. So the first comment is if user doesn't. Actually, I'm just gonna take this. I'm just gonna put this directly in there. Make it easy on myself. I'm just gonna take this entire thing and convert it into a bunch of comments. I might have to edit this because this is a little lengthy. The length do be kind of long. Okay, so if user doesn't exist, um, return error not found. Not found is the actual string that we need to put in the error message. User exists. User exists. Deletion. No, but no delete. Then we will return deleted false, and we'll return basically false. Nil. We'll return. What am I supposed to return? So we have to put false, I'm assuming, if the user doesn't exist, because we can't delete, so there's nothing to be had been deleted it. So we'll just do false. And I'll make this fail intentionally so that I can see um what the expectations are. Okay, if they exist, so if exists, um, and to delete, then we want to return true and nil, and then we want to delete record from map. Okay, so those are the three things we need to do. Now, to make this actually work, what I'm thinking is that we need to first, every time this one function runs, the first thing we need to do is we need to check that the user is in the map, and we can just use what it told us over here. So to check, I got to put my, let's do name. No, we can't use the word name again. Let's just do n, and then we'll just do OK. And then n stands for name, by the way. And then we'll just take the user's map and we'll put the name in here. Okay, so and we can actually do this in an if condition. I learned this the other day. We can do this and then a semicolon here, and we can say okay equals false. Then I think we can do that. And so if that equals false, then we can return. We got to bring in our error. So import errors, and we'll return errors. What was it again? Oh, errors.new. errors.new, and we have to put not found in here. And we also need to, before that, we need to return false. So let's go ahead and run it with just this, and we should see at least one of these tests pass. Declared and not used. Oh, we have to make this an underscore for now. Unused variable needs to be underscore. Missing return. And then we have to have a return in case it doesn't go to that condition. So let's just return. Let's return true. No. Okay, so let's try to find one in here where we get the not found. So that one actually passes. Wait, I feel like I don't see one in here. Let's has failed users. So I do expect these to fail, but I'm actually looking for something that is more useful. I think what's making this hard for me is like, am I seeing? Okay, let's just do this. Let's use this in and let's just do a console. Let's do like a log here. Um, our lovely friend FMT. So let's do FMT dot print F and say current user, and then we'll say v, whoops, and we'll just put that user here as n, or no, n won't exist. Oh, we don't need this here. Let's just do that. So we can just use the name, incoming name, and then we can say also for this, we can just print the map as well. So this will show us at the very top so we don't have to deal with this stuff down here. What I'm looking for is a map to be printed that does not contain the name here. And that will tell me that this basically is sufficient. And they must not have one of these in the test because I ain't seeing it. Okay. So I think what we could do, error expected delete false. Yeah, okay, so expected users, actual users. So this should have deleted Irwin. Okay. Users. Yeah, they don't have a test here for the condition where the person doesn't exist. That's so interesting. I know that because I'm just looking at these here and I can see that for this first test, we're removing Irwin. Irwin does exist in users, but Irwin needs to be deleted, and so we're expecting him to be deleted or them to be deleted. And the second one here is we're also deleting Irwin, or we're taking Irwin, but Irwin should not be deleted. There's not an example of it. They didn't write a test for this. Oh, so should I tell them? Should we like send them an email? Should all 50 of us contact Boot.Dev and tell them that chapter 9 of the map section has a small insignificant error issue that won't make a difference in our lives, or should we just continue to move on? I think we should just move on. Let's do it. Okay, so that's good. Let's go ahead and work on the next part here. So by the time we get to this part, that means that the user does exist in the map, which is great for us. And if they, so we need to check now. So if we need to check the map and we need to get the user's Boolean. Okay, so the Boolean for the Boolean from this user struct here. So we can go to the map again. Actually, we can just use this value here, in. We could say if n dot or in, and we can just put in the key of scheduled for deletion. So if that is true, then return true and nil. So let's put a comment here. If exists and not delete, return false. So I should see one of these tests pass now. Oh, what did I do wrong? Not use and not use if in blah, 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 blah. What did I do wrong? Why is it saying n is undefined? Oh, I know that. Okay, so the reason why n is undefined here is because I declared this in and this okay inside of the scope of the if statement by doing it on this line here. So, and I thought I was being clever bacon cheddar by doing that, but big butt, jiggly butt. But it would be better to do this where the variable is actually outside of the scope, so I don't have to redeclare it because it keeps my code DRY, dry, do not repeat yourself. Okay, so I can just make a little edit here. I'll just do in, okay, and I'll assign that to user's name here. Then I can just remove it from here. And I think we're all Gucci once again. And then we can just use in down here. So cannot index in variable type of you. Okay. Remind me how I can get the here. Claude, help me. The property of a struct. The value of the property of a struct. How do I do that again? Oh, it's dot notation. Because this is not JavaScript. Oh. Wait, can you do this with the... Yeah, it's not JavaScript. So, okay, my bad. Oopsie daisy. Okay, so we got to do schedule for deletion right here instead. Dot scheduled for deletion. Okay, so that should... Schedule for deletion undefined. Type user has no fields. Oh, it should be a lowercase s. Okay, so one of these tests should pass. Test failed and test failed. Oh, I got it. Okay, wait. If exist and no delete, return false. My bad. I had it backwards. False and nil. You gotta read. You gotta read stuff, and it still fails. Why did it fail? Okay, so on this one here, Irwin should not be deleted. Expected delete false. Actually, delete is true. No. So let me do this. I'm gonna bring this here. And we're just gonna get the name of the current user, and we're gonna see that in our console. So, ooh, Lord. Okay, so Irwin is the first one. Irwin is in the map, and Irwin should be deleted. Let me do something clever here, and I'm going to do a line break after this line here so that all my tests aren't just like in the same place. In fact, I'm going to do two of them. I'm going to put all these on separate lines because then that'll make this a little easier for me to read the consoles. Bet you didn't expect me to do that. Okay, so this is the first time it runs. This is the second time. So the first time Erwin is in the map, Erwin should have Erwin is a struct, so we need to access dot. We need to access the yeah. So we access Erwin. Let me just make sure I understand what n actually is. I guess I didn't do that. Current n. Let's just put in here. Run that. Oh, we need to get rid of that. Okay, so now we can see here current n. Yeah, Erwin. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So if I do n dot schedule for deletion, then what does that tell me? Okay, it's true. So then what's the problem here? So if n dot schedule for deletion is true, then deleted is false and error is nil. That's what I've been trying to say. Why is my test failing? Huh. Users. Oh, I'm so silly. I'm doing this backwards. So it should actually be false. So if it's scheduled to be deleted, then no, deleted needs to be true. What am I doing? I'm getting mixed up. I knew that I was going to be struggling in public when I got on this stream today, so this is just what it is for me. Okay, so this first time, Erwin needs to be deleted. So we say true. Am I missing something here? Let's just go back and read our conditions. If this is return not found, if they exist and are scheduled for deletion, return deleted as true with no errors. Oh, I forgot to delete from the map. See, that's why you should always read the instructions. Okay, so users, we got to do delete users, and then we'll put the key here, and the key is just going to be the name. Okay. The intensity is getting real. Okay, so we passed our first test, and then now to do the other one, we just have to make this false and nil. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Bam. Wow, ta-dow. Watch out now. It's the little one, and I'm not bow wow. Okay, let me stop. I don't want to get stricken. I don't think anybody's watching my channel enough for me to get a strike, but in the event that I all of a sudden become a pop star overnight and get 1 million views randomly, I don't want that to happen. Okay, so we've been streaming for 1 hour and 12 seconds, 13 seconds, 14 seconds. I'm gonna take a little break. Then I'm gonna come back and hang out with all 60 of you in just a little bit. So give me like 15. Go ahead and get some popcorn and snack or whatever you got to get. Before you do that, I just want to remind you that if you go down to the bottom of the descriptions down below, I have a survey. Okay, there's a survey, and you would be helping us out a lot. You'd be helping all of us out a lot. This survey's purpose is for me to gather a little bit of information to understand the kind of stuff that you all want to see and what I can make to make this channel a better channel. So that's really the intention there. So if you could just take a quick 30 seconds, I promise you it won't take more than like 30 seconds. You could just do it real fast, okay? Just go down to the description below and do that survey. It will really help out a lot. Then I'll be back in 15 minutes, okay? Thanks so much. If you do decide to go, don't go too far and come back, Wolfpack. See you in a bit. Welcome back, Wolfpack. If you're new here, this is just a YouTube channel that is dedicated to me doing what I gotta do to basically level up my game as a programmer, software engineer. And one of the major goals of this channel is to be transparent about my learning journey. Although I am a professional and I have been for a while, there's always still something to learn and to grow, okay? No matter what you do in this lifetime. So, this channel, a large part of it at least, is dedicated to me just sharing that journey. So, if you got something you want to work on, go ahead and bring it. Bring a snack. Hell, bring your mama. Bring everybody. Bring everything. This is just a cool place for us to just chill and relax and to work on things together because that's how I like to work. And I know that I'm not alone in that. And I do see we got a question here in the chat from ODMRS. Is Boot.Dev free? Boot.Dev is not free, but I can show you their pricing page. So, okay, don't be intimidated. This is a little pricey. Let me just show you what they got here. This is their page. Now, I didn't pay this. I actually ended up paying like $200. However, I cannot remember what I did to get that discount. I might have like Googled it, or maybe there was like a special or something going on. But I know that there are promo codes. I think if you just go to their Discord and ask around, you can probably get a promo code. But I'm not gonna open up my subscription thing because I want to see all my business. But I only paid like I think $250, and it's for a year. And I think okay, here's my opinion. This is just what I think. You don't have to agree. But I've used both free and premium options for learning stuff. And as far as the actual content goes, I can't really say that premium means better, but I do think that there's a psychological component to it. And I've oftentimes felt like, I grew up broke and I'm also very country. So one thing about me is if I pay for something, I'm getting my money's worth. I'm not leaving out here with a little something, something. So that's just me. And that might not be the case for you. And I do think that, at least with this, I understand why it costs this much. And also, I've paid for other full, um, how would I describe it? I've paid for other websites and platforms that offer a complete learning solution, and they're around the same cost or more expensive, and they're not nearly as cool as I think this place is. So, this is not a sponsor. They ain't paying me no money. They probably should at some point, but I'm literally just saying this because this is the platform that I'm going to use to continue learning, in addition to the other things that I do. But yes, this is the cost. I just paid for the year because the difference here between paying monthly and a year is just a lot. But if you ain't got it like that, then you don't need to be on this website. There's plenty of other things that you could do. And Chat GPT or Claude is only like $20 a month. Let me just say that. Okay. So um, it is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna hop back into this. Where were we? I'm gonna do one more of these, and then I got to go. I gotta go live my life. Plus, my puppy is in my bedroom right now, and my puppy hears me talking and thinks that it's about him. Now, I'm in the business of making sure my puppy is well adjusted and doesn't have attachment issues or isolation anxiety or whatever. But I also want to be with my puppy and maybe play some Elden Ring or watch Game of Thrones. So I'm gonna do one more of these, and then I'm gonna get off of here for the night. So let's go on. And okay, so these are key types. Oh, this is like a multiple choice question. So I might do a few of these. I'm gonna get to the next one where I have to code and then do that one. So any type can be used as the value in a map, but keys are more restrictive. Read the following section of the official Go blog. You want me to read what? Here, how about I do this? I'm gonna take this whole page. I'm gonna do this whole page, and I'm gonna say bloop. And I'm gonna say, can you give me a summarization of the main things I need to know from the following text, which comes from the official Go documentation? I don't even bother fixing my typos because I trust that AI is at least that smart. So we're gonna pop that in there like bloop, blam, blow, bing bong, and then we're gonna get to going and reading this, whatever it tells us, and just hope that it doesn't hallucinate, because sometimes it'd be doing that. Okay, so here are the key takeaways. Basic operations. Okay, I know that. I know the literal syntax. Okay, key types. So key types can be booleans, numbers, strings, pointers, channels, interfaces, structs, and arrays. You can have a struct for a key. Can you give me examples of the key types in use? That is bizarre. I ain't never heard of that. So, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, if you were trying to do a mapping of true and false to some strings that were not, you know, maybe some you had a custom string or something that you're mapping into true and false. That makes sense. Numbers and maps make sense because in some languages, like JavaScript, an array is an object where the numbers are the indexes of the array are the keys for that object. So that makes sense. Strings make sense because that's also how JSON works. Um, a pointer makes sense because a pointer is just an address, and the address are unique identifiers. Um, I guess I'm not sure what situation that would be useful in. I guess that's the thing. A channel. I don't know why a channel would be useful. Interface is just the any type basically. A struct can be a key. A struct as a key is an interesting approach because it could be like a way to correlate whatever the struct's values are to some value. So it's kind of like a one-to-many relationship. And the same thing is true for an array. It's a one-to-many relationship. I don't understand the channel one though, so maybe we're kind of going off a little tangent here, but that's fine. Can you explain why channels might be, let's make this bigger for y'all, be useful as keys as well as, I think the channels is only, what as well as pointer. Give an example. So one of the things that I do when I'm studying is I won't just stop at like what the lesson is. Also, I don't go too far. I'm a Libra, so we all about balance or whatever like that. I don't go too far either. But what I do try to do, I do be doing, what I do is I try to make sure that I understand like the context of the information and not just how to solve the problem, right? So that's kind of my point here is I want to understand why these different ones are useful as keys, as key types, but I don't want to like go too deep into the weeds with this. Pointers as keys are often used to track or associate additional data with specific objects. Okay, so track which players are currently in combat. Okay, so this maps. Okay, I see. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Okay, that makes sense. Um, I love how they're making this into like a gamified explanation. Channels and keys are often used for tracking and managing Go routine communication paths. So yeah, so once again, you can take a value and you can associate it with the channel that it might be using for whatever reason. and then it can report to that channel. Um, wait. What am I seeing here? The map of channels. We're making a new channel. So worker one. Now you can look up worker info when receiving messages. Oh, so if you have the channel, you can know which worker is for that channel. Oh, okay. I don't know. Like, I have not gotten too deep into using channels that I know exactly why they're all useful, except for, like my little experiments and stuff. But that is very clever. Clever, bacon cheddar. And as far as I understand, Go routines and channels are used as a way for Go routines to communicate since they are happening intermittently along this. If you think about time as a sequence of time being like a straight line, Go routines happen intermittently as compute is available. They're not parallel, but they can happen. They can happen as resources are available. And in order to coordinate, they need to have ways to communicate with one another, and that's what channels are for. Okay, so key types. Okay, so cool. We learned about that. Boolean, numeric, string, pointer, channel, interface types, and structs and arrays that contain only those types. Notably absent are slices, maps, and functions. These types cannot be compared and may not be used at. Okay, so things that can be compared basically can be used as keys. It's obvious that strings, ints, and other basic types should be available as map keys, but perhaps unexpected are struct keys. Struct can be used to key data by multiple dimensions. Now we're getting into the fifth dimension. For example, this map of maps could be used to tally web page hits by country. So it's like how we can have a two-dimensional array. We can have a multi-dimensional map as well. A map of maps. Think about like an object where actually I don't think that would be a good comparison. So let's just continue. Okay, this is a map of strings to a map of strings to ints. Each key of the outer map is the path to a web page where its own inner map with its own inner map. Each inner map is a two-letter country code. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is pretty much the same uh, approach as a two-dimensional map base, a two-dimensional array. That's how this is basically work. It's not the same thing, but syntax-wise, it's very similar for how you access things. This approach becomes unwieldy when adding data. As far as any given outer key, you must check if the inner map exists and create it if needed. Okay, look at this example. So here we have a function called add. This will take in a map of maps where the outer map is strings that have values that are maps. We got a path and we got a country. So we're gonna check that this path exists in the outer map. And if it does not, then we have to make that that string or that field in the map. We have to initialize it as an empty map of ints, of strings to ints. So it'll be nil. And then we have to say that the map path is going to have the we're going to add this new path to the map basically. And then we're going to say map country. I don't know what this line does. We're going to search for the country and the map. We're going to look for the country string. Mm, hmm. I don't think I understand what this plus plus is doing here. Let's ask Cloud. I feel like Claude is from like Vienna or something. I don't know where the name Claude comes from, but in my mind his name is Cloud and he comes from like Vienna, Austria. Okay, so can you explain what MM male to male is doing here? Let's see if it could tell us. I love using AI for this. It helps a lot. Okay, well, that's what I. Well, okay, this is just adding. I knew this. I promise you, but I had never seen it in this context. Also, I don't know why you would be. Oh, there's a country code. I guess the country code is a number. Oh, I'm being silly. Okay, I know what this does. I don't even need to read what Claude is saying. What this is saying is that for. We're going to go look in this outer thing for a path. And we're going to pull out this path, and inside of this path is going to have a country. It's going to have a country code. And then if this path does not exist, we'll get false. Otherwise, we'll say take this country um, code, which I think is just going to be a number, but we find that number by passing in the country name. And we're going to take that number, we're going to increase it by 1. Okay, that's what that's doing. Yeah, so it's just a count. We're gonna add it by 1. Yeah, I don't know why I need it. I think what threw me off was I didn't know what this is because I have a problem with reading instructions. Okay, so on the other hand, a design that uses a single map with a struct key does away with all the complexity. With a struct key. Okay, so type key, that's my name. It's a struct, and we have two fields, path and country, and they're both strings. So this here is going to make a new map with the key, whatever this key is going to be. So this is going to initialize it with an empty struct, basically. And then we're going to have that associated with an integer. So whatever this struct is, we could just assign it an integer value. Okay, so then when we do key, so this right here is initializing and assigning at the same time. It's initializing the struct, and then it is initializing the struct with both these two values, and then we're passing it to see if we can find it inside of um, this hits no, it's not a slice, it's a this hits map. So this whole thing ends up being a key. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. So it's like we're giving it a combination. We're saying, of the combination of these things together, can you find it? Sort of. Okay. And it's similarly straightforward to see how many Swiss people have read the specs. So we can see hits and we give it the key. And the key is just the path country combination. Okay. I need to see this more in action, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It makes a otherwise really challenging problem very simple. Okay. What makes a type qualify to be used as a map key? So I'm going to say the answers. I know which one it is. By the way, I have a poll, and so far, all I've learned from this poll is that y'all are trifling because y'all like pineapple on pizza. I'm not going to elaborate. I don't. I don't think anything sweet should be on a savory piece of toast. And pizza is technically toast if you don't know that. And putting something sweet on there, you might as well put a slice of apple and some orange on there as well. And maybe even just a spoonful of jelly. Just go crazy. Go ahead and make it into a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Why don't you? Ugh. Sorry. Okay, so what makes a type qualify to be used as a map key? The type is comparable, the type is basic, the type is Go native, not custom. The answer is this one. As they say in France, voila. How much XP do I need? I need 190 or 290 XP to level up. Maybe I can get that before I'm done with this. Okay, so which is simpler, to use a struct directly as a key or to nest maps? The answer is to use a struct directly as a key. We just learned that. Okay, I think with this one, excuse me, I could probably get to level 29. So let's do it. Also, I could have used my XP potion, and I have enough crystals or gems. Why do I keep calling them crystals? I'm thinking like those like phone games where you have to get the magic crystals. Ugh. But I have enough crystals to buy some more potions. But you know, there are two types of game players, RPG players. There's the hoarders, and there's the people who actually play the game how it's meant to be played. I'm a hoarder. Okay. When I play any type of RPG game, my main concern is to not be broke. And sometimes I do that at the expense of making it harder on myself than it needs to be. Okay, so remember that you can check if a key is already present in a map by using a second return value from the index operation. You can combine an if statement with the assigned operation to use a variable type of if block. Yeah, so this is what I was doing earlier. But if you do it this way, where you where you're basically doing the index operation inside of the if condition, it is only available in the scope of that if condition, even if it's not in the curly braces. So that's just a good thing to remember. Um, okay, so this is what we was doing earlier, basically. So this names is a map of it's a map where it's like a name to integer, a string to integer, and then missing name is just a slice of strings. Um, yeah, it's a slice of strings, and these are both being initialized in their nil values. So we're checking here if the name Dina, if Dina is in names. And if that's okay, then we say missing names dot append, missing names, Dina. Yeah, what's so new about that? Each time a user is sent a message, their username is logged in a slice. We want a more efficient way to count how many messages each user received. Okay, the messaged users is here, valid users is here. Okay. Implement the get counts function. It takes a slice of strings, messaged users, and a map of string to integer valid users. It should update the valid users map with the number of times each user has received a message. Each string in the slice is a username, but they may not all be valid. Only update the message count of the valid user. So if Benji is in the map and appears in the slice 3 times, the key Benji in the map should have the value 3. So what's the thing about valid users? A map of string maybe string, and then you know what? Let's just use our old friend FMT, and we'll just do some prints. Gotta love the console logs. That's the best debugging tool, or the best tool in general. It's epic. Okay, so let's do fmt dot print f, and we'll just take, I will say incoming args. Let's just say args, and we'll say messaged users, and we will put v here, and then we'll do a line break, and then we'll say let's do another line break here, and then we'll say valid users. Ooh, I'm getting tired. Valid users, and then B. So let's just run this, and also to make this work, we don't need to do it. We don't need to return anything, I guess. I don't see a return type here. So let's just run this. Oh, we also need to bring in our variables here. Messaged users and valid users. So messaged users is this. Valid users is this. So you can see here that the number of times a name shows up is going to be converted into numbers for valid users. But a user may not exist in the valid user map. Okay, that's cool. So I get it now. So what this is saying is that you will have a number of users that have messages in this incoming array, and we need to go and we need to modify this valid users map of strings to integers. We need to first make sure that the user exists there, and then if they do, we need to update their number. So what we can do is we can run a loop. We can run a loop over messaged users. So for let's do so range messaged users. So we'll loop over all the messaged users, and then we'll say the first thing we need to do is check that they're in the map. If not, then what do we do if they're not there? We don't do anything, then return. And then if they are there, then we will, they exist, then locate, then use name as key to increase value by 1 every time this loop runs. Okay, so let's do the first one, which is going to be a way to basically error out of this. So we'll do the way we can check if they're on the map is we can do this. We actually need to have the value here. So we'll do V. Let's do MU for messaged user. And then we'll check in the valid users map, and then we'll use the value from the current loop of messaged users inside of valid user. That's how we'll find them. If okay, so we can initialize this inside of an if statement, I believe, and we don't actually need we don't need this part here. I don't think we do. We can always refactor if we do. So we'll just say if okay is not to true, then we just return. And then if they exist, then use the name as the key and valid user. So we'll say valid users, and then we'll pass in the um, V, which is the name, and then we'll do plus plus, which will increase it by 1. Let's run that. And we did it on the first fracking time. Hey, okay. You know what I'm saying? We the best. We the best music. I don't know why I just said that. Okay. Upper echelon, top of the top, number one, the biggest, the realest. 365 days in a year, couldn't play with me on none of them days. That's what Glorilla said in that one song, the name of which I cannot remember. That's how I feel right now. Okay, let's go ahead and submit this, get our XP. Oh, shoot. Dang. So, wait, so this part passed, but the submission didn't pass? Okay, well, let's see what our error is in the submission. Sometimes they have extra conditions here. So, uh, let's actually go down to let's look at these here. So here we have Cersei, Jamie, Cersei, Jamie, Cersei, Jamie. So if they do not exist there, then we just return. If they exist, then we increase the number by 1. Let's read our implement. If it takes a slice, see, I celebrated way too early. That's what happens when you gloat. Okay, I'm I'm here to be a lesson for all of you. Don't be like me. Be a good person. Okay, so a map of string valid users. Okay. It should update the valid users map with the number of times each user has received a message. Each string in the slice is a username. So here, but they may not be valid. So this is checking if they're valid. Did I get this? Okay, so I got it correctly. So valid user, and we're passing in this. And let's just do a print here. And we'll say user not valid. And then I'll use the console here in a second, but I think I can do something here. And I don't care about the XP. I mean, screw it. And then we'll just put B. So at least I'll be able to see that in the console when it does pop up. So which one failed? So it's not updating Jamie. Oh, I don't need to return. If I return, it's going to end the whole fun. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so let's submit that. I think that'll work. Nope, didn't work. Okay, let's, well, that was one of the issues at least. So here is the messaged users. Let's go back up here. So for the first one, I think what we can do as well is we can console log the valid users at the end. So faq.printf will say end valid users. And we'll just do NT. So we'll new line and new tab. And then we'll put valid users here. Where's our console log? Okay. Let's put a new line here. Man. Okay, so end Cersei, user not valid, it's Cersei. Oh, so it's saying that the ones are valid. Am I doing this wrong? If okay is not true, so why is it doing it backwards? Um, valid user, and we're searching for the repertoire. Um, valid users map. So this should just end up being one. Oh, wait. User not valid. Let's put a line here. Rerun that. I wonder if it's taking down my XP every time I fail this, or like reducing the amount I get. Probably. Okay, let's go back. Um, let's tab this then. I'm relying very heavily on these print statements, by the way. Okay, so message users, valid users, and yeah, so this is correct. And then the end. Oh, okay. If oh, so I should do it else here. I am silly. I should do it else here. I'm silly. Or otherwise, it's always going to run that code. Ugh, I be making some weird mistakes when I'm tired. Let's hope that this is it so I can celebrate like I was about to do earlier. Hey, level 29, level 29, looking really fine. Hey. Oh, wait, someone said here, let's go. It's called the skin in the game. Yes, I got skin in the game, bones as well. I don't know where skin in the game came from. That sounds like that might have a morbid reality somewhere behind it, as many things tend to. Anyways, so yes, let's celebrate with me. Okay, we have made it. We did it. We the best music, as they say on the radio. Um, Let me stop yelling before my neighbors start complaining. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I've been on this thing for almost 2 hours. I was supposed to be gone like 20 minutes ago, but y'all kept me on here. Anyways, I'm level 29. So that's great. I thought I wasn't gonna get any XP from that, but it turns out I did. Um, I only have 4 levels to go until I reach my short-term goal, which is to get to level 33. Okay, so I'm super excited. Hopefully you're excited for me. If you're not, then I'm not sure what to tell you. Uh, okay. So yeah, just a little bit of housekeeping before I get off of here. Thanks for coming by the channel. I always make it a point to try to be on here consistently. I made this channel because I know what it's like to be a learner, because I am one. Even though I'm a professional, even though I'm a teacher and have been for some time, and have been working, all these jobs and stuff, learning is something that you're always going to need to do. And what I've learned in my own short little life of 35 years is that learning and reaching goals is a lot easier when you have a sense of companionship and a sense of community. So that's what I hope to bring with this channel. And I hope that you will continue to join me in this journey. And in order to help make this channel the best place that it can possibly be, I have here a survey that I've created to gauge the kind of stuff that you might find valuable. So if you could do me a really teensy weensy beansy little favor, go down to the description below and you're going to see a link for this survey. This survey has like only a few questions. It's not a lot. You can do this in like 30 seconds or probably even like 15. Okay. So please do the survey. I'm going to use what I learned from this survey to help influence the kind of content that I make on this channel. And the goal here is that it can be something that's really valuable for you as well as others. Okay. So that's why I'm here. That's why I do this. My actual day job is I'm a teacher, and I just love teaching and helping people so much that I want to bring that to YouTube land in some way, shape, or form. And you're going to be the people who help me best identify how to do that. Okay. So please help me out with this survey. My goal is to get 30 people. That's not a lot. I already have 12. So that means I got to get 18 more somehow. And I'm an introvert, so I hate to ask people in real life. So that's why you can help me. Okay. So, anyways, I'm going to get off of here. I'll be back on here maybe tomorrow, or the day after. If you want to see more streams like this, all you have to do is just go ahead and subscribe, follow, and hit the bell icon to see updates whenever I post a new upcoming stream. Okay. Until then, thank you for stopping by, and I will catch you on the flip side. And if you go anywhere, don't go too far, and always make your way back to the wolf pack. I'll catch you later. Adios.